The ocean looks peaceful, until you realize some fish out there are basically living poison weapons. Step on the wrong one, touch the wrong fin, and things can go south real fast. Before we get into it, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on your notifications. Now, let's meet the 10 venomous sea creatures you definitely want to know about. Quick reality check. Venomous equals injects toxin, like spines or stings. Poisonous equals harmful if you eat it. And yes, some of these overachievers are both. 1. Stonefish. Let's start with the heavyweight champion of venom. The stonefish lives in shallow coastal waters and coral reefs across the Indo-Pacific. It blends in perfectly with rocks, like, you will not see it coming. These fish reproduce by releasing eggs and sperm into the water, letting currents do the work. Lifestyle. Mostly just sitting still, waiting. But step on it, and those dorsal spines inject one of the most potent venoms in the ocean. Surprising fact. Stonefish can survive hours out of water. So yeah, even on land, it's still dangerous. 2. Boxfish. This one looks adorable, like a tiny swimming cube. Boxfish live in tropical coral reefs, especially in the Pacific and Indian Oceans. They reproduce by releasing eggs into the water column, like many reef fish. They're slow swimmers, just casually floating around like they have zero worries. But here's the twist. When stressed, boxfish release a toxin into the water that can poison nearby fish. Yep, one little boxfish can wipe out an entire tank. 3. Pufferfish. Ah, yes, the famous pufferfish. Found in tropical and subtropical oceans worldwide, this fish is known for inflating like a balloon. They reproduce by laying eggs in shallow waters, often guarded by males. Their lifestyle is pretty chill, slow swimming, nibbling on shellfish. But here's the dangerous part. They contain tetrodotoxin, one of the deadliest poisons known. Yes, this toxin is 1,000 times more toxic than cyanide. And pufferfish are both poisonous and venomous. 4. Lionfish. You've probably seen this one, it's beautiful. Lionfish live in warm reef environments, originally in the Indo-Pacific but now invasive in the Atlantic. They reproduce rapidly, releasing thousands of eggs at a time. Lifestyle. Slow, graceful, and extremely effective hunters. Those long, elegant spines. Yes, they're venomous. Surprising fact. Lionfish can decimate entire reef ecosystems because they have almost no natural predators in new environments. 5. Blue-ringed octopus. Okay, technically not a fish, but yeah, you need to know this one. Found in tide pools and reefs around Australia and the Pacific, this tiny octopus looks harmless. It lays clusters of eggs, which the female protects until they hatch. Lifestyle is quiet, hiding in crevices. But when threatened, those bright blue rings light up. And yes, that's your warning. Its venom can paralyze a human in minutes. There's no known antidote, so please just run or swim away from it as fast as you can. 6. Scorpionfish. Masters of disguise. Scorpionfish live in rocky reefs and seabeds worldwide, blending in perfectly with their surroundings. They reproduce by releasing eggs into gelatinous masses that float in the water. Lifestyle. Still, patient, and sneaky. Step too close, and the venomous spines deliver a painful sting. They're basically the underwater version of don't touch what you can't identify. 7. Stargazerfish. This one is straight up weird. Stargazers bury themselves in sand along coastal waters, with only their eyes sticking out. They reproduce through external fertilization like many fish. Ambush predator, waiting, watching, then snapping. But here's the twist, some species are venomous and electric. Yep, they can sting you, and shock you. Nature said, why not both? 8. Weaverfish. Small, but not to be underestimated. Weaverfish live in shallow sandy waters in Europe and parts of Africa. They bury themselves in sand with just the dorsal spines exposed. They reproduce by releasing eggs into the water. They are pretty chill, until you step on one. And yes, that's the problem. They're actually one of the most common causes of venomous fish stings in Europe. Surprising fact. The pain can be so intense that people describe it as burning or electric shock. 9. Rabbitfish. These look harmless, almost cute. Rabbitfish live in coral reefs and seagrass beds across the Indo-Pacific. They lay eggs in shallow waters, often in groups, grazing on algae, minding their business. But those dorsal spines, yep, venomous. They're not aggressive, but if threatened, they can deliver a painful sting. Think of them as the ocean's don't mess with me fish. 10. Surgeonfish. Last but not least, the surgeonfish. Found in tropical reefs worldwide, these fish are famous for the bright colors. They reproduce through spawning events, releasing eggs into open water. Lifestyle. Active swimmers, feeding on algae. But here's the catch. Near their tails are sharp, blade-like spines, like tiny scalpels. Some species have venom associated with these spines. They can literally cut and sting at the same time. So yeah, the ocean isn't just beautiful, it's armed and ready. From invisible stonefish, to glowing blue-ringed octopuses, to fish that can poison, sting, or even shock you. These creatures aren't villains, they're just perfectly adapted to survive. And that's the key. Respect the ocean, respect its creatures, because most of the time, they're not dangerous, unless we ignore the warning signs. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the wild side of the ocean, stick around. Subscribe, stay curious, and next time you're in the water, maybe watch where you step.